Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hope you
Good
all are
evening,
doing
ma'am.
Good
well.
evening.
Good evening.
Alhamdulillah. How about you?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, even I'm doing well. Thank you. So, welcome to Cloudinfotech. This is Aisha Almas. What we have done in a previous class?
Yeah,
Anyone?
we have
Linux
done the
permissions.
permissions.
Yes, we
We
have
have
done
done the permissions.
permissions. Yes, we have done permissions of Linux. With the permissions, we have completed our Linux module, right? So, any doubts in Linux?
Yes.
Yes. Any doubts in Linux module?
No.
Ma'am, can you explain me about the temporary data? I mean, how when to use this temporary data?
How to use temporary data?
When,
No,
yeah, when we
slash
actually
temp
do it, just for the temporary, yeah. See,
slash temp, that is
yeah,
slash tmp, is basically a directory, systems directory, where we store temporary data. Like this is our Windows.
okay.
Just a minute. So can we start the class? Today we are going to start our new model, that is EC2. EC2 is basically a service, one of the service of AWS. Do you all remember what is server? What is server?
Server has the storage, network, and database, I think.
Storage. Server is
Network.
basically the combination of RAM, CPU, and hard disk. In the first class, I have defined the differentiated the difference between laptop and server. Laptop is also a combination of RAM, CPU, and hard disk, whereas server is also a combination of RAM, CPU, and hard disk, but in a large scale, right?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes. So here EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Two C's. Two C's, right? That's why the name they have given as C2. EC2. What is elastic? Which is stretchable. You can increase the size, you can decrease the size. So here elastic stands for you can increase and decrease the size of your server. Compute is operating. Cloud we all know. So EC2 basically is to launch the virtual server. Now what's the agenda? What are we going to learn in EC2? What is EC2? We are going to learn benefits of EC2. We are going to learn service and pricing model of EC2, launch configuration, dependency of EC2, and some labs. Clear?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's start. What is EC2? EC2 is a computing service where we launch virtual machine or virtual server. Like in interview, interviewer can ask you, can you deploy virtual machine? So you will get confused. So deploy, spin or launch. Three are synonyms. EC2 is a service to launch virtual machine or to spin virtual machine or to deploy virtual machine. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So it consists of operating system, it consists of hardware, hard disk, it consists of RAM, CPU, network, storage. So when we launch the instance to EC2 service, it consists of hard disk, RAM, CPU, operating system, network, firewall. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And the
Yes.
charges is hourly based. Like for example, I'm launching the instance. I want to use this instance for 5 days. I want to use this instance for 5 days. Charges of 1 hour is 100 rupees. The charges of if I want to use this server for 1 hour, then it's 100 rupees. Then for 24 hours, how many charges? 100 into 24.
2,400.
Yes, 100 into 24. If I use for 6 hours, then what will be the charges?
600.
600.
Yes.
600.
If I use for 10 hours,
1000.
1000.
1000.
Got it? Charges are based hourly based in EC2 service. Is it clear?
Yes.
So
Okay.
here what you need to understand is EC2 is a service, computing service where we launch or spin or deploy virtual machines or virtual server. And it consists of operating systems, RAM, CPU, hard disk, firewall, and the charges is hourly based. Clear everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I proceed?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now what are the benefits of using this EC2 service? There are 4 benefits. It's highly scalable. For example, I'm using Flipkart application here. If I use Flipkart application, I'm able to access Flipkart, right?
Yes.
So this Flipkart application is running on a server. Every application or every software or every website will be run on the server. Without server, you cannot run the applications. Is it clear?
Yes.
Without server, you cannot run any software or any application or any website. Server is mandatory. So, for example, now I'm running the Flipkart application on my server. And everyone worldwide can access this Flipkart, right?
Yes.
That means millions of people are accessing my Flipkart application. Millions of people are accessing my Flipkart application. That means my server is capable to handle the load of the millions of people. That is known as high scalable. Is it clear? To handle the workload, high amount of workload. Got it?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one of the benefit is highly scalable. The second is on demand. When you request to EC2 serve, if you want any server, if you want a server by using EC2 service, you can request on demand, you can get the server. And the third is pay as you go model. How much you use, that much you need to pay. If you're using for 1 hour, you need to pay for just for 1 hour. If you're using for 6 hours, pay just for 6 hours. Is it clear? And it offers operating systems like Windows, Linux, Mac, Ubuntu, Red Hat. Earlier, if I want to, I'm using Windows operating system right now. So earlier, how it was, if I want Linux operating system, I need to uninstall Windows and I need to install Linux. If I want Ubuntu, I need to install Linux and uninstall Linux and install Ubuntu. But now, because of cloud computing, it has become very easy. Just one click away. In just one click, you can choose any operating system, be it Windows, Linux, or Mac. Is it clear, everyone? These are the benefits of EC2. Highly scalable, on demand, pay as you go model, and it offers various operating systems in one click. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes?
ma'am.
Hope you all are writing some running notes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Good. Now the service model. Do you all remember the second class of cloud computing in first module, Cloud Foundation? We have learned some service models.
Yes. IAS,
Yes,
PAS,
yes. IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS.
SAS.
So here EC2 comes under which service model? IaaS, Infrastructure as a Service, where the cloud engineer gets full control over operating system. Got it?
Okay.
So EC2 comes under which service model?
IAS.
IaaS. Now the pricing models or pricing factors of EC2. There are 4 types of pricing models. This is my EC2 service, right? When you type EC2 here, you'll get the dashboard of EC2, right? The left side, can you see
Yes.
spot request, reserved, dedicated? Yes,
Yes.
these are the types of instance. So there are 4 types of pricing models: on demand, spot, reserved instance, and dedicated instance. Now, on demand instance is basically used by dev environment. In dev environment, these developers use on demand instance for short term use. Like for example, I want to build a code. I want to build an application. That application I can build in 5 hours. I can build that application in 5 hours. That means 5 hours I need to do some coding. For that, I need a server. So I need to pay hourly base, right? Because I just need server for 5 hours, not more than that. So for hourly base, if I for short term use, I can request to on demand instance. Is it clear? You need to pay hourly base in on demand instance, and it's for short term use. Got it, everyone?
This on demand is not there in the instance types, ma'am. It's there. I mean, in the screen, I couldn't see that on demand.
On demand, you cannot see on the screen. You need to request to
Okay.
cloud engineer.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
When you work in a company, there will be some different account, like upgraded
Okay.
account. This is our
Okay.
free tier account, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
So in companies, it will be some upgraded account.
Okay.
75-80% it will be same, just 20% difference. So spot instance, here you can save up to 90%. Now, who use this spot instances? Mainly the students who are practicing. And it's kind of a second hand instance. Like if you purchase a second hand car. So how will it be? The second hand car? Sometimes it starts, sometimes it stops, sometimes, right? So similarly, here spot instance is like second hand instance. It randomly it can start and randomly it can stop. But here, if you request for spot instance, you can save up to 90%. And this is mainly used by students for practice purpose. Clear? Clear, everyone?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Now the third is reserved instance. Here, reserved is used for
This,
long-term
ma'am, this
purpose.
spot is also chargeable. Sorry. This is
Yes,
also
spot
chargeable
also.
spot.
Yes,
Okay.
there is a charges for spot, but it's kind of cheap. 90% you can save.
Okay.
Spot is a cheap kind of instance, second hand, just for practice purpose.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
Now the third is reserved instance, where you can save up to 75%. And who uses this reserved instance? Production environment. Have you all remember that IT infrastructure, dev environment, production operation team, production team? Yes?
Yeah. Testing engineer, everything. We
Yes.
need to.
So in the production environment, you have built an application. There is an application. For example, Meesho application. Meesho app is not running well. Like it's not going well. No, people are not using it. Just 3% people are using Meesho application. So can I close that application? Because no one are using it. The server, you need to pay for that server and some expenses for that application, right? When it's not working, when it's not people are not using Meesho application, then why to keep that? Can we close that application, Meesho app?
No, ma'am.
So I have created this app now today, like it has been 1 month. So can I close this application after 6 months? No. Every software needs to run. Every software needs to run. Every software needs to run minimum 1 year or maximum 3 years. You cannot stop that
Okay.
app before 1 year. Got it, everyone? Minimum every application or every software needs to run minimum 1 year or maximum 3 years. So reserved instance is used in a production environment where my app is faced publicly. Like publicly, people are using my application. So for that, I need server, right? So reserved is where you reserve your instance for 1 year or for 3 years. You need to pay like upfront. You need to pay upfront for this reserved instance. Like advance, you need to pay advance. Minimum 1 year advance or max 3 year advance. And you can there will be a discount for that. You can save up to 75% in reserved instance. Is it clear?
Okay.
Now
Okay. Yes.
dedicated instance. Dedicated is basically the most expensive one. Here, this is mainly used by banks or the big companies who are conscious about their security. So dedicated instance is basically the physical instance where you purchase physical server and you can save up to 70% here. Is it clear, everyone? Banks use this dedicated servers. Clear about pricing models?
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I proceed?
Yes.
Based on the requirement, you need to choose the pricing model. Now, I'm a developer. I just want to use the instance for just 2 days. So, which pricing model will I use? Which type of instance?
On demand.
On demand.
Yes, on demand. Now,
On demand.
I'm a student. I want to practice AWS. I want to practice. What instance do I use?
Spot.
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 Yes. Now, I have created an application. I want a server for 5 years. Which instance do I need to use?
Reserved.
Reserved. Yes. And dedicated is for banks and companies, the big companies. Clear, everyone? Pricing model?
Yes.
Can I
Yes,
proceed?
ma'am.
So now you need
Yes.
to
Yeah, this
understand
dedicated will be
that
for long time purposes.
dedicated is basically the physical. These three are virtual server. Like for example, if
Okay.
I launch the server here, if I launch the instance, I'm into North Virginia region, right? Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm into North Virginia. In North Virginia region, I'm launching an instance, the virtual instance. So the physical server will be launched in North Virginia, but we are accessing it virtually. Got it? Now here by
Yeah.
sitting in India, I have launched a server in North Virginia, virtual server. The physical server will be launched in the data center of North Virginia. And by India, I'm going to access it virtually. Got it?
Yes.
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 Yes, ma'am.
But what is dedicated? Where we want physical server because of security purpose. And it's most expensive because it's a physical server.
Mm.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now understand pricing. So you can rent a server for as low as $5 per month. Like I want to do some coding or something. For that I want to use the server for more than like for 100 hours. I want to use the server for 100 hours. So how I need to pay hourly base, right? For hours, for 1 hour I need to pay 100 for 100 hours I need to pay, right? But if you rent a server for a month, like pay just $5 for a month and use how much you can, how much you want, you use for a month, but you need to pay just $5. This is kind of an example. Clear? Pay less by using more and save when you reserve. When you reserve a server, you can save more. Clear, everyone? EC2 is hourly based, charges is hourly based, but I want a server to 100 hours. I want a server for 100 hours, but for if 100 hours I need to pay for 1 hour, right? Hour each for 100 hours I need to pay. Instead of that, what I'll do for saving the cost, to save the costing, I will rent a server for a month. The month price is $5. So if I pay $5 per month, I can use how much I can in that 1 month, more than 100 hours. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So pay less by using more. Save when you reserve when you reserve the instance, you can save more. Understand the strategy of pricing. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Can I
Yes, ma'am.
proceed?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. So now the launch configuration of EC2. So when we launch the instance, we need to specify some parameters, right?
Yes.
When we launch the instance, we need to specify these parameters, right? Name, AMI, instance type, key pair, right?
Yes.
So let's understand this parameters. The first parameter while launching an instance is name. So you can give any name according to your preference. For example, I'm launching this instance for a Netflix application. So I can give here Netflix server. Clear? The first parameter is name. You can give any name. Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The
Yes, ma'am.
second parameter is AMI, that is Amazon Machine Image. where you get all the operating systems: Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat. So you can see all the operating systems in Amazon Machine Image. So Amazon Machine Image is basically predefined template. Now every software will be built by coding, right? With some coding. Similarly, operating systems also are built with coding, right?
Yes.
So now we don't need to do all that coding and all. AWS, they have given ready-made, they have given the operating systems. Just we need to select which operating system we want to use, and we can use that operating system. Just one click away. We don't need to uninstall the previous operating system, install other operating system. It's not like that in cloud computing. Here, just one click away, you can, if you want Amazon Linux, you can use Amazon Linux operating system. If you want Windows, you can use Windows. Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So AMI
Yes,
is
ma'am.
basically predefined templates. Clear?
Yes.
This is the second parameter of launching the instance. Now the third parameter is instance type. Instance type is basically the combination of CPU and RAM. Instance type is a combination of CPU and RAM. Here we are using T2 Micro. T2 Micro provides 1 CPU and 1 GB memory, 1 GB RAM. Whereas T2 Nano provides 1 CPU and 0.5 GB RAM. And this comes under T family. They have divided the families like T family, C family, M family, D family. Here in D family, this is the name of the instance type, DL1.24 into large. Here it provides 96 CPUs and 768 GB RAM. Similarly goes with others. Here in I family, i3n.x large, where you get 4 CPUs and 32 GB RAM. But why are we using T2 Micro?
Because it's free.
Because it's free.
Because it's free. But when you work in a company, according to the requirement, according to the application's load, you can use the instance type. You can upgrade the instance type. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what is instance type? The combination of
CPU and RAM.
CPU and RAM. Yes. Now the fourth parameter is key pair. Now what is key pair? Key pair is a combination of public key and private key. As soon as we create a key pair, Netflix server KP. As soon as I click to create key pair, here you can see a PEM file will be downloaded by the name of the KP which we have given. Can you see here? PEM file? Yes?
Yes. Yes.
So this is basically the private key. As soon as we create a key pair is basically the combination of public key and private key. When we create a key pair, private key will be downloaded in our desktop and public key will be generated in the server side. Public key will be generated in the server side and private key will be downloaded in our desktop, user's desktop. So when these two keys combine, the session will be connected. The Linux session, the bird, so that will be connected when these two pairs combine, when these two keys combine. Is it clear, everyone? It's basically the security credentials, encrypted password kind of. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay. So
When
now
we
the
create when you
yes,
create the new key, then automatically the two key will be generated. I mean, private key for
yes,
the desktop and
yes,
public key is generated in the server.
server side. But the
Okay.
server side keys we cannot see because it's server side.
Yeah.
But when these two keys combine, the session will be open. The shell, the Linux shell will be open. Clear?
Okay.
If we accidentally delete one of the private key, then you cannot open the session. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So now the next parameter is network. Now what is network? Anyone? Communication between two channels or two systems, right? Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
So when we launch an instance, for example, my Flipkart application is running on my instance, on my server. So to access, if public wants to access my server, I need some network, right? Yes?
Yes.
So
Yes.
network is mandatory. Here we use VPC and subnets. VPC is basically virtual private cloud where we create a network, our own network. But for now, we have used default VPC. In detail, we'll learn in next service. Our next service will be VPC. So in detail, we'll learn later. But for now, we are using default, which is created by Amazon. So network is mandatory, right? VPC is mandatory to launch the instance. Clear, everyone? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
The sixth
Yes.
parameter is security group. Security group is basically the firewall. Firewall is where we protect our server from hackers. So firewall, we protect our servers from hackers. So here in AWS, the name of the firewall is security group. Clear, everyone? It protects from hacking.
Okay.
Yes? So here you can define the SSH protocol, HTTPS or HTTP. This comes under security group. Clear, everyone? What is security group? Why we use security group?
To protect from hacking.
To
Yes,
protect.
to protect
Yeah.
from hackers. And the last configuration is storage. We have in instance type is a combination of RAM and CPU, right? Then what about hard disk?
Yes.
So here storage is basically EBS, that is elastic block store, which is named as hard disk is named in AWS as volume. What is volume? Volume is a combination of hard disk and speed. Volume is the combination of hard disk and speed. Here you can see 8 GB my hard disk of T2 micro, and this instance hard disk is 8 GB. By default, they'll give 8 GB. We can also increase the size 9, 10, but we cannot decrease. 8 is minimum storage. Clear, everyone? Now what is volume? EBS is elastic block store, which is volume. So what's volume now? The combination of hard disk and speed. So these are the 7 parameters which you need to specify while launching the instance. I'll give an overview of it again. First one is name, where you need to give the name of the instance. Second is AMI, which is predefined templates, where you need to select the operating system. Third is instance type, which is the combination of RAM and CPU. Fourth is key pair, which is the combination of public key and private key. Fifth is network. To access internally or externally, we need some network. So here we are using VPC in network. And the sixth parameter is security group, which protects from hackers. And the last parameter is volume, which is the combination of hard disk and speed.
Hard disk and
Speed.
Yes, speed. So here I need to specify 7 parameters and launch instance. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you all write these steps? Have you all written the running notes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is basically how instance type the numbers are defined. This is just for information. R, the first letter, stands for instance family, like be it R, or we are using T2 micro, right? So T family. R is from R family. M will be from M family. The second is the generation, instance generation. The numbers, be it 1 or 2 or 3. This is the additional capability, third number. Then X large will be the size of the instance. We are using micro. Then micro will be the size of the instance. T will come under instance family. And 2 comes under instance generation. Clear, everyone? Just for basic information, how instance type number is defined. So the next is dependency of EC2. EC2 server is dependent on VPC, EBS and security group. Without VPC, EBS and security group, can we launch instance?
No.
No. So VPC is dependent on EC2. EC2 is dependent on VPC. Similarly, EC2 is dependent on EBS as well as security group. Without these three, we cannot launch the instance. We can launch the instance, but we cannot connect to instance. We can launch instance without this, but we cannot connect. Clear, everyone? Okay. So this is all about the theory of EC2. Any doubts? Any doubts? Service model, pricing model, dependency. So now in labs, we are going to do 4 labs in EC2. First one is launch AWS Linux instance and connect by using putty tool. This is our first lab. The second lab which we are going to do is we need to launch Windows Server and connect using RDP client. We all know how to launch AWS Linux and connect by using SSH protocol, right? So we know how to launch AWS Linux and connect by using SSH protocol. But for putty tool is a third party tool. Now we will be going to connect to Linux by third party tools here. The second is to launch Windows Server and to connect to it, and the third is website hosting. We are going to do website hosting on Linux and website hosting on Windows. So these are the labs which we are going to do in EC2. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Any doubts?
No.
No? Okay. So this is our instance, right? I have just launched this instance, Netflix server. Yes?
Yes.
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 So now if in your company, when you work in a company, you will be launching 30 to 40 servers. Right? You will be launching 30 to 40 servers. Human tendency is to forget, like the date, on which date you have launched the instance, which operating system you have used, and which AMI, what is the key pair, of your instance. You will forget, right? When it's 30 to 40 servers, you will forget.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
So now if you want to see the summary of instance, the details of instance, what you need to do? You need to select the instance. As soon as you select the instance, you can see here the details, monitoring, security, networking, storage, details. Scroll down, go in details. Here you can see public IP and private IP of the instance. You can see the instance ID. You can see instance state, running or stopped or terminated. You can see which instance type you have used in this server. You can see VPC ID, subnet ID, launch time, on which date, which time, which day you have launched this particular instance, and the name of your key pair. Sometimes we forget key pair, right? If we have launched 30 to 40 server, then we have created 30 to 40 key pairs. We'll forget the names, right? Names of the key pair. So if you want to recall the name of the key pair, you need to go to that particular server, select that, go in details, scroll down, you can see the name of the key pair. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
In details, you
Yes,
can see
ma'am.
all the information. Tenancy is default, as well as security information, which protocol you have used, which security group you have used. I have used 22, that is SSH. And networking, you can see the public IP, private IP, VPC ID, in which availability zone is your server. So you can see all the details here. Clear, everyone, how to see the summary of instance?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Hope you all know how to stop, start, terminate instance. Select, go to instance state, stop or reboot or terminate or start. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The left side, you can see the volumes. The volume is basically elastic block store. That is the combination of hard disk. The size of your hard disk is 8 GB. The speed is 3000. And which resource is attached to this Netflix server? This is the hard disk. This is the volume of Netflix server. So this is the basic information of instances. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm giving you all 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, please revise these notes, your running notes, and if any doubts, please clear now itself. Then we'll start with labs. We'll start with our first lab in 5 minutes. Clear, everyone?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.